U.S. Vice President JD Vance has accused the European Union of meddling in Hungary's election. Speaking during a visit to Hungary, Vance claimed the EU is using financial pressure and political influence to affect the outcome of the vote. He voiced strong support for Prime Minister Viktor Orbán, calling out what he described as unfair interference in Hungary's democracy.
You know what I have never done, even though we have, of course, a lot of economic power in the United States of America. We are the economic and military superpower of the world. We have never threatened Hungary, saying, if you don't vote for Viktor Orbán, you're not going to get this and this. We would never do that because we respect the Hungarian people enough to respect their sovereignty. The fact that so many foreign actors, whether they're transnational organizations like the bureaucrats in Brussels, or whether it's foreign governments, are literally threatening the Hungarian people, vote this way or we're going to exact our revenge on you, that should make you very angry. You should vote against that for the simple reason that you are sovereign in this country.
And in that same visit, U.S. Vice President JD Vance also spoke about Hungary's role in the Ukraine war. He praised Prime Minister Viktor Orbán, saying he has done more than many European leaders to push for peace between Russia and Ukraine. Vance stressed that the war cannot continue indefinitely and called for negotiations as the only realistic path to ending the conflict. He also criticized Ukraine's leadership, taking issue with comments from President Volodymyr Zelensky and raising concerns about actions taken during the war. At the same time, Vance defended Hungary's approach to energy and security, arguing that maintaining stability is critical, even during ongoing tensions.
We have made significant progress. I mean, if you go back to where we were in the beginning, where we couldn't even get the Russians or the Ukrainians to put on paper what is it that you want in order to settle the conflict, we've now gotten that. And we've got pieces of paper from the Ukrainians and pieces of paper from the Russians. We've actually got them to state their positions, and over time, their positions have gotten closer and closer together. Now, obviously, they're not perfectly aligned, because if they were, the conflict would be over. I hate to say this, because they're obviously much bigger economies, much more populous countries in Europe, but most of the European political capitals have not been nearly as helpful to the cause of peace between Russia and Ukraine as Viktor Orbán has. And it's not because, by the way, I've sat in private meetings with Viktor where he has very, very capably summed up the Ukrainian position, where he said, this is what the Ukrainians care about, this is what the Russians care about, because if you want to make peace, you have to understand what the two parties to the conflict actually think. It's not a betrayal to try to understand where both the Russians and the Ukrainians are coming from. It's a necessary component to achieving a peaceful settlement. That's not Russian influence, that's a desire for peace. This is not American influence. I wasn't even aware that Zelensky had said that he was going to send private soldiers to the Prime Minister's residence until yesterday. Viktor actually told me that, and then I went and looked it up. Almost couldn't believe it's true, but it's true. It's completely scandalous. You should never have a foreign head of government or a foreign head of state threatening the head of government of an allied nation. It's preposterous. It's unacceptable.